guys? How is everyone? Wait a couple seconds to get a couple people in. How's everyone doing? Let me know if there's any issues with my audio or anything. Hey Eric! How's it going? It's been forever since we've talked. How have you been, dude? Oh my gosh. Marcus, what's up, homie? Welcome, everyone. It's so good to see you. Now, usually we do try to go live at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Mondays. But I have some courses and classes that start like right at that time. So it might be a little later for a couple weeks. But I am excited to chat with you guys today because you know what we're going to be getting into? All the fun, dreamy stuff, right? So good to see you too, Eric. Oh my gosh, I love you all. Okay, before we start, I'm going to light an incense. We're going to get the vibes going. I got some wine here. I got some candles. It's a vibe, but I'm going to go get an incense. What kind do we got here? We got a rose. You guys want a rose? Rose incense? That sounds great, right? Okay. Let me see. Okay, great. Alright, let's get one. Perfect. I hope you all have been well. I really do. It's so good to be back. I know I haven't been as consistent as I wanted to be. Honestly, to be completely honest, I've been literally tearing my whole entire business apart and putting it back together. I've been trying to redo everything. I try to upload at least 4 times a week on YouTube. And so I'm trying to fit that in with the coaching work I'm doing, and I have some courses coming out soon, and there's just a lot going on. So I haven't been able to be as punctual as I have wanted to be on these lives, but I'm showing up. We're doing this thing every Monday for sure. From this point on, I've been trying to literally, if you saw my surroundings, you would understand how much I'm trying to organize things and make things like as consistent and efficient as possible for you guys. And it's really important for me to show up and chat with you guys. I love hanging out with you guys. It's really, really fun. It's the highlight of my Monday, and I plan to do it even more. And if any of you are YouTube members, there will be like monthly Zoom workshops and live videos specifically for members. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, you can just click the join button next to subscribe, and it will show you all the details. Also, oh, never mind. I was going to show you guys my alien plugs. I don't have them in. I just realized I have other ones in. Well, sad face. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about hypnagogic imagery and like the wild technique for lucid dreaming. So that technique does take a little bit of finessing with, especially if it's your first time inducing a lucid dream, but we're going to kind of break it down today, kind of break down what hypnagogic imagery even is, how we can induce it, and you can actually induce hypnagogic imagery in like basically any state of consciousness. So I'm going to talk to you guys about a lot of what people leave out when it comes to the wild technique, which I think is really crucial. So we're going to be talking about that today. If you have your tea, if you have your wine, I have both. Oh, and a sparkling water here. Okay, I am really set, aren't I? Okay, great. And if you guys have any questions at any time throughout this chat, post them in the chat. It can get a little bit crazy sometimes, but I will try to get to everyone's questions depending, you know, we'll see how many questions we get. But I just want you guys to know that you can ask questions at any time. I want this to be a conversation between us, and I want to talk to you guys about hypnagogic imagery, because there's a lot of confusion about hypnagogic imagery, and we actually all go into that state every single night. And you don't have to be asleep to induce that state. You can practice on the couch right now. You can literally close your eyes and induce hypnagogic imagery right now. So I kind of want to break down like I wouldn't say myths, but like maybe the misconceptions of hypnagogic imagery, and show you guys how easy it actually is and how you can practice this really anytime and anywhere. Raphael, how are you? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited you caught the live. Yes, oh my gosh, welcome guys. I love you so much. I have my tea. I'm ready. Okay, so I kind of want to talk to you about what liminal dreaming is, because I've made a couple videos on it, one for my members, which you guys have seen, and then I uploaded another one publicly as well. But liminal dreaming, you probably haven't heard that word a lot, but you're definitely probably familiar with the states that it brings. So just a quick question, really quick, and if you want you can put it in the chat, but who has experienced, as you're falling asleep, these bright swirling colors, these flashes of bright lights? You might have seen like geometric patterns, maybe little small dream snippets, no storyline like you might receive in REM dreams, but who has kind of have been in that like hypnagogic state of consciousness? Have any of you been there? Hey Bob, what's up? How's it going? So a lot of us haven't really heard what liminal dreaming is. We're like, oh, I want to learn how to do that. But actually, we're already doing it. We just need to recognize when we're in that state. Oh, you've seen it? Okay, great. So that's really what it is. So I'm going to tell you how to actually induce hypnagogic imagery and how you can tie that into all of your other practices. How you can use hypnagogic imagery to induce lucid dreams, to induce out-of-body experiences, and to increase your focus and awareness within your sleep states overall. And practicing liminal dreaming will actually make it easier for you to get out of body, because you'll be used to maintaining that focus and awareness as your body falls asleep. And it's a really good way to work on your visualization skills. So if you're someone that maybe struggles with like visualizing things when it comes to inducing a lucid dream or something, this state will be perfect for you, because you don't actually have to try to induce anything. The colors and the dream scenes and the information kind of flows through your vision. You just practice staying aware, and you just practice not falling asleep. That's really what it is. And so I know a lot of people on YouTube, or even off of YouTube, have made it seem like lucid dreaming in these altered states of consciousness it's hard to access, and that you have to be someone special to access these states, or it takes many, many years of work. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. And I'm here to make it as easy as I can for you, because everything that everyone's trying to complicate, I'm here to simplify and show you that we don't need all of this extra BS in order to have these experiences. And we can induce this with what we have now. So I'm going to break that down for you. First, I want you to know that liminal dreaming, that's what we're going to be talking about today. That's wild. That's literally the hypnagogic and the hypnopompic state of consciousness. And some of you may be familiar with that already. I kind of want to just kind of break down what that even means, because a lot of us have probably not heard that before. First, I'm going to take a sip of wine, because, you know, have some wine. You're talking about dreams, you might as well. So, the difference between REM dreams and liminal dreams is really the state that it happens in. So a lot of you are familiar with REM dreams, right? That's mostly what we talk about on this channel, is like regular dreams and lucid dreams. And this happens within REM most of the time. We can dream in any state of sleep, really, but most of our dreams are going to be within REM. And REM stands for rapid eye movement, and that is the stage of sleep where we experience most of our dreams, like we talked about, lucid dreams. And this is where you guys will experience sleep paralysis. So some of you may be familiar with that. And for any of you who want more information on that, how to induce sleep paralysis, how to stop sleep paralysis, how to turn sleep paralysis into a lucid dream, how to turn sleep paralysis into an out-of-body experience. What is sleep paralysis? The scientific explanation for sleep paralysis. I literally created a whole playlist on sleep paralysis on my channel for any questions that you guys have, so make sure to check out that playlist if you guys have any questions. I don't know how many videos there are on there, but I tried to make as many videos as I can based on the information that we need regarding sleep paralysis, because when I was learning, there was really no information on how to induce any of these things or like what these experiences were. So that's what I want to create for you. I want my channel to act as a library for the information that you've been looking for that you haven't been able to find, because that's how it was for me when learning. Plus, I literally learned how to lucid dream and induce out-of-body experiences before there was even internet. Like, before there was Google, I learned how to lucid dream and have out-of-body experiences. How frustrating that was, because I was a little kid, but there was no information to tell me what I was experiencing, and I kind of just had to play with it, you know, and kind of learn what works and what doesn't work. But that's how I want my channel to, that's what I want my channel to do for you, is to be a library of information that you've been looking for that you haven't been able to find because no one's made content on it. So that's what I want my content to do for you. But let's talk about liminal dreaming and how we can access it. So as we talked about, REM dreams happen throughout our sleep cycle, right? We go into REM every 90 minutes, which means we go into our dreaming state every 90 minutes of sleep. So within the first hour and a half of you falling asleep, you're already in a dream state. But the thing with this is those dream states within REM, the first cycles of our REM last a couple minutes. So I definitely wouldn't recommend waking yourself up after 90 minutes of sleep and trying to induce a lucid dream, because you're probably going to miss out on the opportunity, because REM is only a couple minutes long when you first fall asleep after that first 90 minutes. But as your sleep progresses, like throughout the night, the REM stages get longer. So after about 4.5 to 6 hours of sleep, that's when your longest REM periods are, and that's going to be where you can have like a full lucid dream that lasts like 60 full minutes, or potentially longer, depending on when you catch your REM sleep. But the thing with REM dreams and liminal dreams, like REM dreams happen in between your sleep cycle, but liminal dreaming actually happens on the edges. So before you actually fall asleep and after you already wake up, that's when we can experience liminal dreaming. And I want to convey this in a way that like inspires you to try this anywhere, because you don't have to wait until you're about to fall asleep to try this. You can try this anywhere. And really what liminal dreaming is riding the wave between being awake and dreaming. So it's literally letting your body fall into a really deep, relaxed, almost light sleep state while you keep a little bit of awareness. Maybe you can hear the TV on, maybe you can hear people talking in your house, but you start to see these colors and your body's falling asleep, but you're consciously present of your environment. That's liminal dreaming, and the more we can carry that awareness through those states, the more real these dreams are going to get. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the hypnagogic state. As we're falling asleep, if you notice, like if you try to notice, you'll start to see it. But what happens usually is our mind falls asleep before our body, so we actually don't really get to consciously experience these states. So what we want to do through this practice is start to switch the roles. Let our body fall asleep before our mind instead of the other way around. And if we can maintain that awareness, we can carry that awareness throughout our sleep stages and experience different sleep or different dreams within different states of consciousness, which is really, really cool. We can even dream within dreamless delta wave sleep. Think about that. That's crazy. That's talked a lot about a lot in Tibetan Buddhism. That's called sleep yoga, and it's basically becoming conscious in your deepest, most restorative state of sleep. And a lot of people will experience clear light in this sleep stage when they practice this awareness. And the Tibetan monks say this is one of the stages where we can experience enlightenment, is within this delta wave sleep, this dreamless deep sleep. If we can learn to carry awareness into that, then we'll be able to experience different dreams and different information through different stages of sleep, if that makes sense. But the main difference between REM dreams and liminal dreams is REM dreams, most of your regular dreams and lucid dreams happen throughout your sleeping cycle, and liminal dreams happen on the edges. But just know that you don't have to like be going to sleep to try to induce lucid or liminal dreams. You can practice this in your chair right now. You can practice this anywhere. And there's a couple differences between these states as well. Like in REM dreams, you're gonna experience storylines. Like most of your dreams that you have during REM and your lucid dreams, they're gonna have some sort of storyline. Things are gonna be able to be like pieced together pretty cohesively, if that makes sense. So there's a story, there's a body to those dreams. But within liminal dreams, on the edges of sleep, you know, right before you fall asleep and as you're waking up, these are basically, this is information that you have processed or you have engaged with throughout the day. So it's not going to be like a solid story like you might experience within REM sleep, but it's going to be pieces of information that you have been thinking about, that you have processed throughout the day. And that's why it seems so random in these states. Like, I was actually testing this the other day. I was laying on the couch and I was trying to induce liminal dreams. And I know that you experience a lot of random stuff when you're in these states. So I was checking to see like when I actually went into a liminal dream. I was sitting there and I was starting to see all these colors and I was practicing awareness. And then all of a sudden, I see literally a plate of chicken nuggets in my vision. Like, just really quick, I saw a bowl or like a plate of chicken nuggets. And that's when I realized, okay, I'm in the liminal state, because that doesn't make any sense. Luke, it's so good to see you. How are you, love? Oh my gosh, how are you? So good to see you. But that's when you kind of know when you're in that state, is when things start to get really random. Like, have you ever been trying to like fall asleep and maybe you're counting yourself to sleep, but then you start to like mix up the numbers and you start to kind of like drift off and get all like weird, like you can't think straight. That's a sign that you're in the liminal states, and that's because your conscious mind is falling asleep, and your subconscious mind is opening. That's why we experience these colors and these images, is because our dreams are being processed and coming to life really within these states. So those colors you see are really potential dreams. That's what that is. And the more you hold on to that, you don't want to like fixate onto these colors, but just allow them to flow and be aware of them. And once we start to do that, all of a sudden we start to see images that are more real, and all of a sudden this starts to turn into almost full-blown dreams. They're going to be different than REM dreams, but the really cool thing about liminal dreams is this is a really good way to process information, or maybe bring back memories that you may have forgotten about, business ideas. It's really good for creativity. So it's basically like really powerful, just like lucid dreaming. You can experience a lot of the same information. And what's cool about liminal dreaming is you don't have to be asleep. Like, the information that you're able to get from the lucid dream, you can still get that in liminal dreams, but you can practice that anywhere. So if you want, I invite you just to close your eyes really quick, if you want to, of course. But a little trick to see what hypnagogic imagery is like is to either rub your eyes as they're closed, of course, or put your palms on your eyes and just add just a little bit of pressure. And with that pressure, you're going to start to see, hopefully, different colors form and just like different kaleidoscopic visions. And that's basically what liminal dreaming looks like. And then it starts to get more real and more real the longer you hold on to your awareness. Hey, Dennis, how are you? So good to see you. Usually black out at a certain point when I start to fall asleep. No, good question, Bob. So daydreaming is not a form of lucid dreaming, but it is a form of dreaming. Lucid dreaming happens usually within REM sleep, and it's, you know that you're dreaming, you know that your body is sleeping in bed, but you're able to explore this 3D reality created through your mind. So it's a dreaming state, daydreaming. I do that all the time. Sometimes I'll just lay in my bed to daydream, because I love to let my creativity and like my imagination just take me anywhere. Sometimes I'll just lay down in my bed and daydream and just like create different worlds and like fantasies in my mind and let them come to life. So it's not lucid dreaming, but it is a state of dreaming. And the more that we daydream, the more creativity we actually have in our lucid dreams. So you can really daydream, as you can see, in any state of consciousness. Bob just mentioned daydreaming. That is literally where we're dreaming while awake. So there's different states of dreaming. They're just like different kind of experiences, if that makes sense. So let's kind of talk about how to induce hypnagogic imagery. Also, you guys may have heard of hypnopompic imagery. That's basically the same thing as hypnagogic imagery, except it happens in the morning. So what determines a liminal dream is when your conscious mind starts to close and your subconscious mind starts to open. So it's kind of where you start to get a little bit like daisy, like starting to be like half in, half out as far as your consciousness, you know, and that can happen in the morning as well, because in the liminal dream state, hypnagogic imagery, as you're falling asleep, that's your subconscious mind opening. But in the morning, hypnopompia with hypnopompic imagery, that's your subconscious mind closing. So we still experience similar states as we're falling asleep and as we're waking up. So you can actually use these states to induce lucid dreams as well. Now you might have wondered, well, how do people get lucid all the time and have out-of-body experiences when it comes to nap if they're not in REM? And it's because they're using liminal dreaming as an anchor. So if you ever notice, say that I love naps because that's where most of my out-of-body experiences come from. Eventually, after doing this practice, you'll kind of find a formula and almost like a recipe that works for you specifically. And one of the ways that works for me is naps. Like really, like naps really work for my practice, and so I take naps throughout the day. That's part of my like work, actually, is experimenting. And of course, if I'm going to be helping my clients induce these states, I'm going to have to be experimenting all the time as well. You know, that only makes sense. And what I found through my practice is naps is one of the most amazing states to induce a lucid dream or an out-of-body experience, because you're anchoring that strong awareness. Like you've been awake for hours before you take a nap usually. So you're bringing this high level of awareness into a light sleep state. Now that is a perfect recipe for a lucid dream or an out-of-body experience, because most of the issues people experience when inducing a technique is staying awake. Like a lot of us just fall asleep. Like we wake up at like 4 a.m., we're super stoked, we're super excited to do our technique, and then we fall asleep. So if you practice during a nap, that's going to basically take care of that problem pretty much. And you might fall like in a light sleep and kind of out, but that's the perfect state you want to be in, is like hovering between awake and asleep. So I kind of want to talk about how to induce hypnagogic imagery, and keep in mind this also refers to hypnopompic imagery, which happens in the morning. Really, this is just liminal dreaming in general, which is half awake, half asleep. So you can really induce this anywhere. But I do want to catch up on the comments. I'm so sorry for the delay. Let me scroll up a little bit here. Yes, I do. That is Ganesh. Thank you for noticing. All right, guys. Let me catch up really quick. Lucid dreaming. Your new ones worked as far as the city. Let's see. Is lucid dreaming and the astral plane connected? Absolutely. You gotta keep in mind, like, when you look at it from a level of, like, physics, everything is energy. Literally everything in the universe is energy. And really what we're doing with our awareness is just shifting through different states of consciousness. And you can actually use the lucid dream state to induce an out-of-body experience and vice versa. So they are absolutely connected. And it's because we're conscious as our physical body is asleep. Think about how dense our physical body is. Like when it comes to like comparing it to other dimensional planes of consciousness, like this state, this 3D dense state is really dense, you know? And so when our physical body is asleep, that makes our awareness, our energy so much lighter. So it makes it easier to travel to different planes when we're not so connected in this physical body. Because if our consciousness is anchored in this physical body, it's very hard to separate from it. That's why if you think about your body in an out-of-body experience, you get pulled back to that density, because now you're thinking in a dense environment. Does that make sense? So yes, they are connected. You do not have to lay on your back, Bob. It does help me. That's actually how I induce my out-of-body experiences in lucid dreams, and I'll walk you guys through my technique too, just to kind of give you an idea of what I do. I have talked about it before, but I just want to kind of run through what I do. And of course, after practicing for a while, you'll kind of figure out what your specific like recipe is. I call it that because It really is like a recipe. Like, everyone's going to be slightly different. And there's no such thing as failing. Like, that's one thing I also want you to know is, like, a lot of, I have some clients that, like, they'll try to get lucid one night and then they'll think that they failed in the morning because they didn't have an experience. But all of this is part of the learning process. If you didn't fail doing something that didn't work, you wouldn't know what does work for you. So just know that there's no such thing as failing. You're just figuring out what your specific recipe is. And that's why I'm here to help, because I really do believe it is down to a specific habit, certain techniques, and how you do the techniques. Like, that's really all it is. I promise it's not you. We just have to create a specific recipe in order to be able to induce the experiences and recreate them for ourselves. You know what I mean? I find it hard to visualize sometimes. It runs away with itself and is out of control. Is that normal? And are you supposed to let it run away to see where it travels to? So if your imagination is just running wild, I would let it do that. But you also got to think of, like, what your mind is running to. If your mind is creating, like, a scene, like maybe like a dream scene in your meditation, definitely let it run there. But if it's connected to thoughts, that's different than visualizing. That means that your mind is distracted instead of concentrating on imagery. So just notice what your mind is thinking about, or like where your mind is going when you're in those states. Because if it's going on some amazing journey, creating this beautiful, like, imaginary dream scene for you, cool, let it do its thing. But if you're like, oh my god, I gotta do the dishes, like, I gotta do this, then that's separate from visualization or imagination, if that makes sense. But awareness is the most important thing within these states. Even if you're meditating and you are aware that you can't concentrate, that is meditation because of the awareness. Like, it doesn't matter what's coming up in meditation. If you are aware of it, then that is meditation. If you can't relax in meditation, but you are aware of the fact that you cannot relax, that is meditation because you are aware of what is going on. I've been very, very awake lately, body and mind yearning for deep rest. Yes! How have your dreams been? It's been a while since I've talked to you, Luke. I hope you've been doing well. I'm so excited. Oh my god. The only time where I've been asleep and partially awake is in the morning, on weekends, sometimes where my body is heavy. So I would also try this if you guys kind of, you know, where you get to that point throughout the day where you just really need a nap. It might be like 2 to like 4 p.m. Try taking that nap and see what happens. Try laying on your back. Even if you don't normally sleep on your back, just try it. Actually, you want to be in the position that you don't normally sleep in. But for me, that's my back. Maybe it's different for you. But the reason why we lay in a position that we don't normally sleep in is because we're going to be able to maintain a little bit of awareness when we're doing that technique. Like, say you stay the night at your friend's house, your body is not going to be fully comfortable because you're not in your bed. So you're going to be able to keep a little sliver of awareness, if that makes sense. So you can also use this with certain sleeping positions. If there's a position that you don't normally sleep in, maybe try to just relax into that and see what happens. But it is important to make sure your room is not too hot, to make sure your room is not too cold, to make sure that your blankets aren't too heavy, to make sure that your pillow is not too fluffy or too flat. Like, you really have to set up your experience, or like your room, for this, and just try to make it as relaxing as possible. That's what I can really recommend to use. Make it as relaxing as possible. I have glow-in-the-dark stars on my ceiling. I have an oil diffuser. I have a salt lamp in there. I have like a little dream altar next to my bed, like a table with things that just remind me of dreams, or maybe things that I've seen in my dreams, and I want to feel like I'm stepping into my dream world when I go into my bedroom. Because it's not just going to sleep, I'm literally traveling to other places and using my bed as the portal, pretty much. So to me, it's a sacred practice, and I want it to feel sacred. So I kind of set the experience up to where it really feels like I'm initiating myself into sleep and into these experiences. And that's one of the biggest things you can do, is like do this practice with intention. Before you go to sleep, what do you intend to happen? What do you wish to happen? Like, and how does your room feel when you're in there? I really recommend like cleaning your room, organizing your room, making it feel dreamy and inspiring. And I promise you, even that is enough to create a shift in your experiences. How long should a nap be? Really, as long as you want. My naps are usually, it really depends. You'll probably have an experience before the 90-minute mark. So it can be between like 1 to 2 hours. It really depends on how my experience is going. Like if I like had a lucid dream and then I woke up but I'm kind of in the vibrations, or I can tell I'm close to the vibrations, I'll just ride it out. I will just meditate. I will just see where it takes me. I've meditated up to like 6 hours before during a nap. So it could be from like anywhere to like an hour, like a few hours, whatever works for you and your schedule. But I would at least give you enough time to the point where you're like kind of falling into sleep, maybe like dipping into sleep a little bit, because that shows that your body's ready to fall into sleep. And then once you know that you're falling asleep, that's your cue to keep your mind awake a little bit. So it does take a little work, because it is very easy to fall asleep. But once you can see yourself falling asleep, that's when you know that you've got to try to keep just a little bit of awareness, because once we can physically observe our body falling asleep, that's when we're able to access these different states of consciousness and different experiences. What are we really? Raphael, that is a really good question. I'm going to tell you, I've been getting into physics and astronomy really heavily lately, and I have no idea how to explain that whole concept to you just in this video, but it's absolutely mind-blowing. It would be very confusing for me to try to explain it to you, but I've been so lost in astronomy lately and like physics. Oh my God. I have been obsessed lately, so I love that you asked that question, but I don't even know how to explain that in such a short period of time. I really don't. The recipe is not complete. I'm missing a key ingredient. Bob, feel free to message me or email me. I'd love to chat with you about it. Let me post my email just in case. But that's really all it is. You're not missing anything. It's literally just figuring out what works and what doesn't work and creating your own like recipe out of that. But if any of you have any questions, or maybe you have questions how you can work with me, here's my email. I just want to put that out there just in case any of you have questions. Let me see. What to say to myself tonight to remember my dreams tomorrow? Great question. So that's part of going to sleep with intention. When we go to sleep, we don't want to just fall asleep. We don't want to sleep like a log. We want to sleep like a tree. We want to be aware, right? And so when we go to sleep, we have to go to sleep with some sort of intention, because the last 2 to 5 minutes of wakefulness is when our subconscious mind starts to open, and it's susceptible to belief systems, to affirmations, to intentions. So when we start to fall asleep, or as you get in bed and you are falling asleep, tell yourself this. This is the one line that really, really works for me to remember my dreams. Tonight, I will remember my dreams. I have excellent dream recall. For some reason, that always works for me. Anytime I have a dry spell, that always works. And that seems to work for my clients too. But really, do what resonates with you. But that specific sentence in particular, I'm not sure why, always seems to work with me. But most of us don't remember our dreams because we don't practice remembering our dreams. Dreams come naturally. Dreams happen to everyone, but remembering them is a skill. If we don't show our brain it's a priority to remember our dreams, we're not going to remember our dreams. Why would our brain practice saving all of that information and bringing it from the subconscious mind to the conscious mind if we're not going to use it, right? So we basically have to show our brain it is a priority to remember our dreams and practice remembering our dreams. So I recommend all of you have a dream journal. Even if you're not remembering dreams right now, practicing using your dream journal every day will start to show results. You will start to remember your dreams within like 5 to 7 days. It actually happens really, really quick. And some of you may be asking, well, how can I remember my dreams, and how can I practice writing my dreams down in my dream journal if I'm not remembering dreams? Now, the dream journal is not meant to just have your dreams written in it. The dream journal is actually a memory building tool, which means it is meant to help build your memory over time. So when you practice using your dream journal and you're not already remembering dreams, what you want to do is when you're falling asleep, you want to say an affirmation like that, like, tonight I will remember my dreams, I have excellent dream recall, and say that as you're falling asleep. Now, when you wake up is the important part. You don't want to jump out of bed, Because number one, that's going to instantly close your subconscious mind, open your conscious mind, stimulate your brain, and you're going to forget everything that you dreamt about. So we want to practice waking up slowly, if possible. And there's a cool thing, actually. Dream memory is actually stored in the muscles that in the position that we wake up in. So if you say you woke up in a position like this, but you flipped over and all of a sudden you forgot your dreams, try flipping back over into the position that you woke up in and see if you can recall your dreams. But when it comes to practicing dream recall when you wake up, you don't always have to have your dreams written down in there. Say you woke up and you didn't have dreams. You still want to probe your brain, like, do I remember anything I dreamt about? Do I remember where I was? Do I remember who I was with? Do I remember what I felt? Do I remember anything from my dreams last night? If you don't remember anything from your dreams, start to try to recall anything that happened throughout sleep, even if you had to wake up and go to the bathroom. Maybe you tossed and turned all night. Maybe you got a random song stuck in your head at 4 a.m. Those are things that would also go in your dream journal because you are teaching your mind to be conscious of what happens during sleep. And over time of practicing this is actually going to help build your dreams and actually give you actual solid dreams to write down. So, and if you don't remember anything, say you don't remember waking up, you don't remember your dreams, you don't remember anything, you just want to write down, tonight I'll remember my dream, or no, I forgot that's the affirmation. You want to write in your dream journal, no recall, or I don't remember anything, or I didn't remember any dreams last night. That shows your brain that it's actually a priority to remember your dreams and it's supposed to remember the information so you can write it down. So after you start practicing this for a couple mornings, and you're like, okay, it doesn't seem like I remembered anything. I think this happened. Like, you really start to probe your brain. Your brain is gonna know, like, oh, remembering dreams is actually now important to her. We're supposed to remember this information. Okay, let me start to try to collect this information from the subconscious and bring it to the conscious mind. So you're really just showing your brain that it's a priority to remember your dreams. We all dream, but it takes a little bit of time to practice remembering dreams. It's a skill, but that's kind of how you can start remember your dreams. Again, I also have videos on this on my YouTube channel if you guys have any questions, but it literally takes like a week or less. How cool is that? Dr. Emoto rice experiment. I have not, Dennis. I don't think I have. Well, let me see. Hey Silas, no worries. Okay, so I'm gonna get into my technique right now. So literally, guys, all it takes to induce hypnagogic imagery is awareness. So you can practice this anytime, and I would encourage you to practice this anytime that you can. Say on the couch, maybe you're in the car, you're in like the passenger seat, you have a long ride, like whatever it may be. Start to just relax. Close your eyes. You can even do this now if you want. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths, and this could be now, this could be when you practice, but start to become aware of what you physically feel right now. What do your clothes feel like on your body? What does the seat feel like that you're sitting on? How supported do you feel in the chair or the bed or maybe the floor that you're sitting on? Can you smell anything in the air? Can you feel anything? Is it hot? Is it cool? Can you feel the coolness of your breath as you take an inhale in? What sensations can you feel throughout your body? If you start to breathe for a little bit, you can start to feel a little bit of tingling, maybe hear your heartbeat. And after you start to tune in to these sensations around you, you're going to start to see images, and that's because you're relaxing your body. You're telling your conscious mind that it's okay to relax. We don't have to be so active. And you're almost giving yourself permission to see what's already there. We just are so used to going so fast throughout our life that we don't take time to just see what's already there. So that's the key to inducing hypnagogic imagery, literally anytime. Literally just closing your eyes and allowing yourself to tune in to what you actually are feeling. Like, really, what can you smell? What can you taste? What can you touch? How does it feel to be in the space that you are with your eyes closed? How much of the space can you feel around you with your eyes closed? Can you still imagine the space around you with your eyes closed? What does it feel like? Maybe you can close your eyes and pretend that you're completely somewhere else. How real can you make that visualization? really you're letting your brain go on a journey, and you're letting the sensations you're feeling take you on this journey and amplify your experience. Once you really start to tune in, just like completely relax and just start to feel what you're already feeling, it starts to get more real. It starts to get more intense. And then all of a sudden, your imagination is taking you on a very wild ride visually. And I always practice this when I go to bed as well. See if you can do that tonight. See if you can do that. Can you notice the point in which you fall asleep? Usually we don't notice, right? Like, we don't know what we were last thinking about before we fall asleep. Can you become aware of that? Like, can you try to do that tonight? Can you hold your awareness so strongly that you can actually witness when you fall asleep? And the more you practice this, the easier it's going to get. The faster you'll be able to induce these images. The faster you'll be able to put your body asleep while your mind is awake. The easier you'll be able to slip into relaxation and into these techniques that you're practicing. This is truly the magic, is the sensation and the awareness. Just becoming aware of what's happening. You don't have to try to create anything. You don't have to try to create anything with your visuals or your imagination. Just observe what is already happening to you and through you and around you. Yeah, if you sleep in, for sure, Malcolm, you're so right. You will definitely have more experiences a lot easier. Even going to bed 30 minutes early, you'll experience a difference. But now I kind of want to walk you guys through my method. So my method's a little bit different. A lot of people will tell you to wake up in the middle of the night, you know, get like 4 hours of sleep, wake up. I don't do that, okay? I did do that when I first started practicing, but eventually your brain gets so used to waking up at a certain time that it starts to automatically wake you up because your mental alarm clock is set for that time, and techniques start to become less and less effective. For me, my experiences now, when I was first practicing, I had most of my experiences in the middle of the night, like 4 in the morning or something. That's when I had most of my out-of-body experiences. But then I started to practice out after a full night's rest, and that's when I started to have consistent experiences. So you'll have to kind of mess around with this. It is different for everyone, but I kind of want to tell you my technique. One of them, but this is like the main technique that I use. So you get a full night's rest, which is pretty freaking sweet. Like, you don't have to wake up, set your alarm for like 4 hours later. I know how difficult that could be to wake up, especially when it's cold in your room and you're like, oh my god, I'm supposed to get out of bed for this technique. I'm not moving. I know how that is. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to wake up in the middle of the night, okay? I'm here to help make it easier. We don't have to do these complicated techniques and all of these things. I want to make it as easy as I can for you. So get a full night's rest. Of course, if you want to set your intention before you go to sleep, you can do that, but you're going to wake up before you do the technique, so you can always set your intention then. So I get a full night's rest, right? And then I stay up for at least 2 hours. Like, you can do this in the middle of the day. Hey, how's it going? Welcome, 𝒕𝒤𝒕𝒤. So you can do this after, like, say you got a full night's rest. You can do this an hour and a half later, 2 hours later. I usually do mine about 2-ish hours after I wake up from a full night's rest. So I'm completely rested. I got like 8 to 9 hours of sleep, whatever. Before you do your technique, you want to create the intention. You don't want to be fixated on it, but you want to intend for something when you're going back to your bed. So for me, I'll write what I want to happen. I want to have a lucid dream of this, or I want to be able to induce an out-of-body experience, and I'll kind of explain my why. Because if you just want to have a lucid dream for no reason, or you want to have an out-of-body experience for no reason, it's very hard to create that experience if you don't have a desire behind it, or you don't have like a why. Like, why do you want to have this experience? Why is it important to you? So that's the first thing to kind of figure out. And then I just write that on the paper. Journaling for me is really freaking helpful. Like, I journal everything. I have so much paper everywhere. That's just the way that I process things. So that's usually what I do before my technique, is I'll write down what I want to happen, or like, but the thing is, you don't want to be fixated on something. You don't want to totally like expect something to happen. See, Malcolm, that's great. Like you sometimes the best experiences are when they happen spontaneously. And if you try too hard, let me just say this, if you try too hard, it's probably not going to happen. So like intend for something to happen maybe, but don't expect it. Like the key, I'm going to tell you the key really for me. If I go back to bed after a full night's sleep, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have an out-of-body experience, I'm gonna have a lucid dream, this is happening, I'm gonna get in a vibrational state, it's probably not gonna happen. But what I do that does make the experience happen is I forget about why I'm laying in that bed, and I focus on what I feel. See, it goes back to feeling, goes back to awareness. You focus on what you're feeling, how grateful you are that you even get this time to lay in bed, that you even have a bed, that you get to be as comfortable as you are right now. Soak in that gratitude and that comfort, like soak in that comfort and that gratitude of being able to lay down, completely relax, and take this time for yourself. That is what helps me have experiences easier, because I'm not fixated on it. I'm focused on the comfort, and the comfort brings a deeper experience for me because I can sink deeper, and because of that, that makes it easier to have an experience. So forget like being fixated on your experience. Oh, you see him? Yeah, there he is. Ooh, there's my paintings on the wall. So have an intention, but don't be so fixated on it, okay? Just really be able to like bathe in the relaxation that you have a comfortable place to practice this. And all of a sudden you'll notice you'll start to sink in deeper and deeper. This is where it's like almost all sensation. Like you completely relax. It doesn't even matter if your mind slips away for a couple seconds, you'll probably come back. But you want to completely relax. Don't see like under your closed eyes is a black wall. You don't want to be looking at it. You want to be looking through it or into it. You want to be able to see depth, almost like a forest. That's how I usually explain it. You don't want it to seem like a black wall that you're like looking at, but you want to see it like a forest, like you can see through it. And all of a sudden, because you're perceiving this blackness under your eyes as having depth, you start to see depth. Like painting, for example. When I was taught in art class in school that when we paint with black paint, we don't just have straight black paint. We create a combination of different colors to create dimension and depth within that dark space of color. So that's almost what it's like under your vision. It's not going to be straight black. You want to be able to see the dimension in it, and all of a sudden it's going to start to create different colors. Now you just get lost in this. You completely relax and you focus on the sensations that you are feeling. You're going to start to slip in and out of sleep or awareness, but you're going to start to hover on this half awake, half asleep state. Now, there's a couple things that tell me that I'm getting close to where I want to get to. Number one, the colors will start to get really, really intense. Number two, I will feel a wave of cold chills go down my body, because that is a sign that you're falling asleep, because your temperature drops as your body's falling asleep. So I literally get a huge wave of cold chills. That's my sign. Okay, I'm getting somewhere. Next, I will start to feel very heavy, almost like someone is literally putting like pounds of like clothes on my body. I don't know how to explain it, but it almost feels like I'm being pushed in my bed because of how heavy my body feels. So this is kind of like what I go through. I go through different phases. I've almost been able to realize the levels or the phases that I go through, and you'll experience this too. Like for me, I experienced the colors first, and then I experience a little bit of tingling, and then the cold chills, and then it gets really heavy, and then I experience tingling that starts in my toes and works its way up, and then that turns into vibrations. Like I've done it so many times that I am now familiar with the different phases that I'm going to enter. So you'll kind of get like that too. You'll be like, oh, this is where the cold chills come in. Now like 5 minutes later, I'm going to experience this. Like you start to be able to see the path based on the phases or the things you're experiencing. Literally, it's just about awareness and relaxation. That's really all it is. And all of a sudden, these liminal dreams, these little pieces of colors and flashes of light, once you start to see that, then you can start using your imagination. What dream scene do you want to create? Let me ask you, think about it. Close your eyes if you want to. But what is the most beautiful scene that you can think of? Like the most beautiful scene. If you could be anywhere with anybody, what does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? Where are you? What colors are there? Totally embody that. What does that look like to you? The best possible thing that you could ever think of. The most relaxing, beautiful scenario that you could think of. Start to try to create that in this experience. Once you start to see the colors, start to create that. Say it was the beach. Let's just say it was the beach. Start to tune into what it would feel like to be at the beach. What would you smell? Well, you'd probably smell salt water, right? What else would you smell at the beach? What would you feel on your feet? You'd probably feel the sand beneath your toes, right? What would you hear? This one's a fun one. And you can actually start to really feel these sensations and hear these noises and like really start to tune in with your experience. I'm going to tell you, your brain doesn't know if you're awake in this state or not. Your brain cannot tell if you are imagining something, if you are awake, or if you are dreaming. Which is why when you start to imagine things, it starts to get more real to your brain. And then your brain assumes that it's a real experience since you're interacting with it, and it starts to create more sensations to support that experience that it thinks that you're actually having. Which is why when we imagine being at the beach in these experiences, we will start to hear the waves. We will start to feel the sand on our feet before the dream even starts. So once you're relaxed, just keep in mind relaxation, holding still, awareness. Once you are experiencing this and you start to see these colors, you start to feel sensations, then you move to creating your scenario with your mind and your senses. A lot of people are so fixated on visualization, but really, like, I have gotten lucid and had out-of-body experiences from sound, like just playing a song in my head. So visualization is great, but keep in mind you can do that with all other senses. Like you can get lucid off of your sense of smell. Like what is your favorite scent? Can you smell it right now? If you think about it, think of money. Can you smell money right now? I can. That's very powerful for me. Try to do that in your experiences. How visual can you make that smell? Can you actually feel being in that area? Like, really start to practice that, and it's going to start to get more and more visual until it actually turns into a full lucid dream. Who knows? It could start as a liminal dream, it could be an out-of-body experience, but I promise you, awareness, visualization, relaxation, holy grail for all of these experiences. They are so connected. They really, really are. And we can use these interchangeably. I went from a lucid dream or a liminal dream into a lucid dream to an out-of-body experience and back into a lucid dream. Like, we can freaking switch through these different states of consciousness, but we just need to learn how we work. We can do it naturally, but we have to learn how we work, which is why you're not struggling and trying to have an out-of-body experience or a lucid dream. You're just figuring out what your natural recipe is. That recipe is already there. You just haven't discovered how to actually master it or induce it using that specific recipe personal to you. So really, once you start to, so again, get your full night's rest, stay up for like 30 minutes, go lay down, black out your room, put some blinds on or put a sleeping mask on. Make sure you are completely relaxed. If your pillows are too fluffy, get rid of them. If your blankets are too heavy, get rid of them. Have a light blanket, no pillow or a flat pillow. You want to be as flat as possible, because after being in that state for a while, you start to get uncomfortable if there's a slight thing annoying your physical body. Say that your head was just a little bit hunched, and it doesn't seem like a big deal. In your experience, it's going to feel like the most uncomfortable thing ever. So prevent that from happening and just like set up your experience beforehand, if that makes sense. Gib, hey, how are you? So really, you setting up your experience is what determines your experience, if that makes sense. So set yourself up for relaxation. And one helpful pointer that I have, well, for me, when I induce a lucid dream and out-of-body experience, I don't know why, I've already told you guys, I'm obsessed with astronomy. Like, I don't even know if it's healthy at this point. It is crazy. I have been dreaming that I've been like orbiting the freaking sun, and that last night I traveled to the Kuiper Belt where 𝒂𝒓𝒔𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 Kuiper belt right now. Like, my mind has been freaking crazy, okay? And it's because I've been getting so into this specific topic that it's been like totally taking over my mind and inducing different experiences. And that's how I induce my experiences, is imagining that I'm floating. So what is your passion? Like, is it being at the beach? Like, it could be anything. For me, it's astronomy. So I imagine that I'm floating in space. That's like my safe place, is like space. And like that feeling of floating and the cosmic vastness that never ever ends. That's what I like. And so when I imagine floating in my experiences, I actually start to feel it. And that's what you have to think about before you go into your experience. Will I be able to tune out of my physical body? Like, are you going to feel any sort of discomfort when you're in your experiences? You want to set yourself up in your experience to make it feel like you're floating. Like when you lay in your bed, when you lay down, you spread out your arms and legs, you're completely relaxed. Can you feel any sort of discomfort or strain or tension? Or could you tune out of your body eventually and imagine that you're floating? Can you become weightless in your mind? Can you become truly weightless in your mind? Because if you can, that's going to be your golden ticket into these experiences. That's really what it's about. When it comes to separating, for example, an out-of-body experience, we're physically tied to our physical body within this lifetime. And if we think in this dense environment, we're going to stay in this dense environment. So the only way to project out of this dense environment is to think beyond this dense environment, which means we have to get above our physical body and our physical senses. So when you're trying to induce an out-of-body experience, for example, you have to become more than your body, because you are. But you can't think within this realm of your body to get out of your body. It doesn't work like that. You have to think beyond your body, beyond these physical senses, beyond this perception that we think is real, whatever that means. You have to create such a real experience for your brain that it actually thinks that's happening instead of you laying in your bed. And that is with lucid dreams, that is with out-of-body experiences, that is with any of these experiences. You take your mind on a mental journey, and that is your ticket to having full-blown experiences. Again, your brain cannot tell if you are dreaming, imagining something, or if you're fully awake. So when you start to create such a strong visualization and sensations to go along with that visualization in your mind, your brain assumes that's actually real life. That's what's happening. And all of a sudden, your perception switches from laying in your bed to wherever your mind actually is. And that's how we can induce lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences. You create such a real and vivid experience that it's more real to your mind than your physical body. That's the key. That is really the key. That's why when you hear out-of-body experience techniques, you hear about the target technique, like imagine that you're standing over here, or the floating technique, or the rollout method. You imagine doing something that your physical body isn't actually doing. That's really the key. And I did this with the hammock technique. I was laying down, I induced the vibrations, and then I started imagining swinging in a hammock. What happened after a while? I actually started to feel like I was swinging in a hammock because I convinced my brain that that's what was happening. I imagined swinging in a hammock. What would I see looking above me? Could I feel the wind? Could I feel the sun on my face? Can you feel that stomach drop? Almost like you were like going on a roller coaster ride. Can you feel that? In this hammock experience, all of a sudden your brain is like, whoa, this is a real experience. I can see things, I can feel things, I can almost touch things. And then it starts to invest its energy into that experience, which is how it becomes more real, until we're literally sucked into that experience. And you can use these experiences interchangeably, but just keep in mind, you have to become more than your body. You have to be able to take your mind on a journey in order to actually journey yourself. We have to show our mind what it's actually like to be where we want to be before we're actually there. We can't expect to have an out-of-body experience or a lucid dream if we don't even know where we're going or what we want or where we want to go at all. Like, we have to create it in our mind first. Your mind is the canvas to your experiences. That's why dream journaling. That's why just using your imagination doing something creative is highly going to affect your practice. That's why I love to paint. My paintings are based on my lucid dreaming experiences and my out-of-body experiences. And when I'm lucid, I ask to see something that will inspire me, and I'm shown paintings that I haven't created yet. I'm able to access forests that I've created with my mind, other planets that I have dreamt of. Like, all of a sudden you start to become so dynamic in your imagination that you can create anything and go anywhere almost instantly. And just know there's nothing outside of yourself that you have to do. You're really just learning to become one with your mind and learning to create a dance between the dream realm and this realm. Because your dreaming body is actually a reflection of how we act in waking life, believe it or not. How crazy is that? If you go throughout your dreams never realizing you're lucid, even getting all these crazy dream signs, that means that there's somewhere within your waking life that you are running on autopilot or you're not aware. And all of a sudden, when we start to create more awareness in our waking life, we have more awareness in our dreams, leading to lucid dreams. So you can see that your dream self is actually a reflection of how we're acting, how we're thinking, how we're perceiving, and how we're operating through our daily life, which is really, really cool. Your dreaming self is not a dream. That's a different aspect of yourself, as important as this one. And the more time and effort and energy you give that part of yourself, the more results you will see within that part of your journey. It only makes sense, right? Energy flows where attention goes. So where is your attention goes? Are you putting it all in one basket in this 3D reality? Or are you wanting to explore the other realms, the other depths of yourself that are hidden in the subconscious mind? I love dreaming. It has changed my life. As you guys know, I had this crazy healing experience through it. I definitely recommend checking it out if you guys haven't heard about my healing experience from a lucid dream, but this practice has changed my life. I literally feel like Alice in Wonderland going into my dreams. Like, I can create any realm that I want to, and it's like I'm actually there. I have dream friends that I come back to time and time again, and they're like, hey, what's up? It's been a while. Like, you cannot tell me that this is imagination, that this is like make-believe. This isn't. And we need to show this part of ourselves importance, just like this realm. Like, it's not, this realm isn't more important than the other one, you know? Malcolm, oh my god, that's actually a great way to learn how to lucid dream. That's what happened when I was a kid. I trained myself. Anytime I had to like pee in the dream, I had to wake myself up. Or anytime I was in like a nightmare. Have you ever done that? You're like in a nightmare, like, oh god, I gotta wake myself up, this is scary. That was a lucid dream. Look, we're already doing it and we don't even realize. Got me thinking about vibrations from a comment of yours. Your influence is so positive and helped me get results. Awesome, Gib. Look at you. Gib is amazing. So really keep in mind, guys, I do have a video on how to induce hypnagogic imagery. Oh, also guys, I just wanted to let you know really quick, I've been doing, as you guys can see, I've been making sleep meditations for a little bit now. And some of you may have realized that after I post the meditation, I have to take it down, and sometimes it's like a day late when I re-upload it. I don't know why this is happening, but keep in mind, I create these meditations, and for some reason, YouTube is like telling me that like 3 to 7 seconds of these videos are copyrighted out of an entire 8-hour track. So it's like they must be hearing like one specific tone and thinking it's copyrighted, and so I have to take the track down. I have to edit out like the 4 seconds that it says is copyrighted content, even though it's not, because I literally create those tracks. But I'm sorry for any of you guys who have seen my meditations pop up, my 8-hour meditations, and then get taken down. I don't know what is going on with the copyright process thing. I don't know. It's probably a bot listening through these tracks and then hearing like one little tone and then like being like, oh, that's someone else's song. Anyway, it's been a lot, but I thought I needed to let you guys know. So you're like, why the hell is she like uploading meditations and taking them down 10 minutes later? That's because the YouTube bot's out to get me, and I'm just trying to create meditations, guys. Trying to create meditations. But for any of you who have seen that, I am sorry, but that is why I will put a meditation up and then have to take it down sometimes, like yesterday. And they deleted that meditation, so now I have to create a new one all over. But if any of you are wondering what's been going on with that, that's the story. So just know that I'm not like taking it down despite anyone. I'm just trying to do this thing, you know what I'm saying? Malcolm, I love you. Oh my god, everyone in here, you guys are so great. I'm so sorry I'm not able to get to everyone's messages. Let's see. I saw Ganesha in a shroom trip and in liminal dreaming. It really depends what it means to you. That's the cool thing. When we see these things in dreams and like different states of consciousness, it's symbolic related to us. Like say I had a dream of a cat and say that I loved cats. That's a great dream. That probably means something symbolic in a positive way. Say that I had a horrible traumatic experience with cats when I was little and I had a dream of a cat. That's probably a nightmare or something that's trying to help me work through that inner trauma. So really what you see in your experiences, it really depends on your perception of what that symbol means to you. So what does Ganesha represent to you specifically? Patrick, that would tell me kind of what that experience means. I hope that makes sense. And guys, I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining me. Like, I love you guys so much. I'm sorry I haven't been I've been trying to plan my I've been trying to get ahead on my content. I want to get like a month ahead, but I'm really on the line. Like right before a video comes out, I either make it that day or the day before because I'm like, I have so much to do that I'm like really short on my time, and then like these meditations being like copyrighted from YouTube and me having to go fix it. It's just been a lot. So I really appreciate you guys being patient with me. I love you so much, and I promise you this year stuff is happening. Like this stuff is happening, okay? Like I plan to go really hard this year with my content, what I bring to you guys, and the community I want to create with you guys. I seriously, you are not just people to me. I really, really, really love you, and it means so much that there's other people that care about these beautiful experiences just as much as I do. Like, you guys are family to me, and I want you to know how much I love you and how happy I am that you guys choose to spend your time with me. I promise to show up every Monday. I promise, even if it's a little late like this stream, I promise from this point on Monday, and if not, I will let you know in the posts. Okay, I've been redoing my entire life, so it's been a little chaotic, but I really love you guys. I really do, and I'm really, really grateful for all of you. And then I also did want to let you guys know that I will be coming out with a Lucid Dreaming Bootcamp course soon. If any of you guys are in my normal courses, like my 40-part Lucid Dreaming video course or my Beyond Lucidity course, you will be getting that course for free. So I'll automatically enroll you in that course. If there's anyone who's been interested in joining my Lucid Dreaming course or my Beyond Lucidity course, my astral projection one, if you sign up for that before my new course is out, I'll get that to you for free too. I'll just email you your login info. But I just want you guys to know that I am working on things. I've been really trying to I really want to get clear on my mission and who I am and how I can help you guys and how I can show up better and provide more value to you guys. Like, for some reason, I just don't feel like I'm doing enough, and I want to be able to do more for all of you. Because this is my world. This is everything. Like, this work I do, you guys, like, this is my life. This is what I literally spend all my time doing and focusing on. So it means a lot. Gib! I love you. Gib, you're so amazing. Shout out to Gib. He is such a homie. He is so I love you, Gib. Thank you so much for the $10. Oh my god. You guys are so great. Thank you. I love you guys so much. Please promise me you guys will be back Monday. I promise I'll be back Monday. Chat with you guys again. First of all, also, what do you guys want to hear about in my live videos? Do you guys mind leaving a couple chats really quick? Just letting me know what you guys want to see in the future. Even with my regular content. Like, this is for you guys. Like, I really want to create a cool dream family, you know? with information that actually helps you. So you don't have to leave it here if you don't want to. You can always comment on any of my videos, but if there's anything that you want to see in the future, if there's any questions you have, if there's any way that I can help, please let me know. Sleep yoga, got it. Let me write that down. Let me do that on my computer. Sleep yoga, got it. Sleep yoga, cool. I just want to make sure that I provide information that you guys care about. And I want to be able to grow with you too. Like, I really want to use this channel to like run experiments with you guys, like, and lucid dreaming challenges, and like see how far we can take this practice. How far can the healing modalities go within the lucid dream? How far can our consciousness travel within these states? I am actually going to be a part of a lucid dreaming research center at the Institute of Temple Sciences later this year. So I'll actually be able to run lucid dreaming experiments in an actual research center. How cool is that? So that's how important this practice is to me. I just want to help you guys. And if there's anything you need, please don't hesitate to email me. Please don't. I help you guys. You can reach out to me at any time. I'm always here. But I will be ending it today. Guys, keep in mind that I do have a membership option on YouTube, and I do upload weekly content for members. And I'm going to be uploading a lot more because I have so much planned. I am like drowning in my notebooks and my notes because I have so many ideas and I just don't know where to start. You know, just that. Maybe it's a Leo thing, I don't know, but check out the memberships if you guys are interested. I do offer one-on-one mentorships as well. If you want to, I have like 60-minute options where we can just chat for an hour, create a dream plan, figure out what can work and what really won't work based on your practice, and kind of create a solid dream plan and lucid dream plan for you. I also have 30-day mentorships as well, where we actually work together for 30 days. And honestly, most of the clients, I become friends with most of my clients and we still chat after the 30 days. Like, I have this client named Troy and we've just been chatting. Like, we just get on Zoom still and just chat and create dream challenges together and stuff. So really this is like a family connection for me, you guys. So if there's any way that I can help you or you need anything, definitely let me know. I'd love to work with you guys. I would love to chat with you guys. Just let me know how I can help. Again, if you want to check out the mentorship or the memberships, you can just click join on the channel. And if you guys are interested in like my mentorships or my online courses, check that out. And again, if you're signed up for any of my online courses, by the time my new course comes out, you'll get it for free. So keep that in mind. There's the link if you guys desire. Again, thank you, Gib, for the 10 bucks. Thank you. And thank you all for showing up today. You guys are badass. I love you. And I appreciate you guys so much. I will be back Monday. I'm gonna try to, I'm still working on my schedule. I'm almost there. There's a lot that I'm trying to figure out. Because I really want to show up in every possible way that I can this year. And I really feel good about this year. So we're going for it. I just need to organize some stuff on my end, but I promise you it's gonna be fine. Oh, cool, Gib. Okay, I was like, I don't know why I can't message you, but I figured it out. I think I just had to accept your request. My bad. Sorry, it took me a sec to get back to you on there. And hopefully be a member. I really want to learn about lucid dreaming and astral projection. Raphael, if there's anything I can do for you, homie, let me know. For sure, let me know. And I also do have payment plans. If there's anyone who's interested in signing up for my courses or my mentorships, I do have payment plans as well. If there's, you know, I just want to be able to help you guys in any way that I can, and I do want to be able to connect with you guys. It's very, very important to me. So if you have any questions, even about signing up for my mentorships or my courses, or just have a question about your practice, please email me. Let me put my email here as well. Oh yeah, and guys, I'm sure some of you have a Facebook. I do have a group on Facebook called Haylee Lynn's Lucid Dream Team. And that's basically just a group full of dreamers. You can share your experiences, you can post techniques, you can ask for tips. Like, that is a place where you can post what you want and connect with other dreamers. So there is a link for that as well, if you guys are interested. Appreciate your work and love you. Thank you. 𝒔𝒏𝒆, you're so sweet. I love you guys so much. My heart is so full right now. Thank you guys again so much. I truly, truly, truly love you. And I'm here for you. If you email me, I will reply to you. Like, I really do want you guys to know that I'm here to help in any way that I can. And we're in this together. Like, this journey is about expansion. It is about growth. It's about learning. And it is about creativity and imagination. And I want to help ignite all of your natural magic and help you have these amazing experiences. So if there's anything I can do, please let me know. And then again, just want to let you guys know about the meditations. If you see that I upload a meditation and then it gets taken down shortly after, just know it's the YouTube bot being a little bit difficult, and I just have to go and cut out the part of the meditation that's apparently copyrighted, but it's like 2 seconds of it doesn't even make sense. Anyways, you guys know. Yeah. Yep, it's okay. I'm finding a way around. It's taking a little bit of time. I'm trying not to get stressed. I just feel bad when I like promise you guys a video and then I can't do it that day, especially if it's because of like a YouTube copyright claim or something. Like, I kind of get hard on myself about that when like I plan to release something, or when I tell you guys, okay, I'm going live every Monday, I'm releasing this every Sunday, Saturday. Like, I really want to be able to follow through with my words. So like, that's the meditations have been messing with me a little bit because it's kind of thrown off my schedule. But yeah, thank you guys for understanding. I love you all so much. I know I've said that a million times, but oh my gosh, I've missed you guys. And we'll be back Monday for sure. Mark my word, we'll be back. I'm gonna try to aim a little bit earlier in the day. We'll see. We'll get a schedule figured out. Yeah, we'll get a schedule figured out. Okay, guys, I love you so much. Again, my email is open to you. If you have any questions at all, let me know. That link for you is a link to all my courses, my classes, my mentorships. Again, if you have any questions or if there's anything I can do for you, let me know. You'll also have direct access to me and my other dreamers in the Facebook group. We post in there all the time. And people share really, really cool stories in there, so it'd be cool to see you guys in there. But I love you all so much. Thank you so much for joining. And as always, I'm sending you all endless love and endless lucidity, and I will see you Monday. Love you.